The Pokemon 151 poster collection going out to one lucky winner, 2 3-pack blisters of Surging Sparks, and 5 Pokemon card mystery lots going out to 8 winners overall. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Be a part of V-Rule and the fact that I post 7 days a week. Take one more step, go over to this video here. That's where you're going to leave an additional comment, and that's where you're officially entered to win on those prizes. We're trying to reach 4,000 subscribers. I think we can do it. We can make this happen. Today is Sunday, so we do our Sunday slip. We're looking at things going down in price on the Pokemon card market. And today I believe I have almost all just individual single cards, which is the trend typically, that you'd find singles going down and sealed going up. We have one exception, but that's only because the times we're in. So let's dive in. If you've been a part of the Pokemon card market in the last 3 or so months or more, you're probably familiar with the fact that upon release, a new set tends to go down, and we see that true here with Surging Sparks. The Latias EX Special Illustration Rare, it's been coming down since its release, those what we call FOMO, or fear of missing out prices, and then tanking after that release happens. Not tanking, I mean, this is still pretty darn expensive, right? But it seemed like there was a little bit of a boost to say, no, we don't want it to go that low, keep it up over 200, but the market's just not holding on, and we're now getting a little bit further under that. 195 for near mint there. 195 seems to be the market price, and you have your listing here. You're going to have to judge the photo, the single blurry photo on your own. When you take a look, spending this kind of money, I don't recommend doing it on some place like TCG Player, because even with photos, it's really difficult. These are actually better photos than usual. You know, you might feel a little bit more confidence. That's about eBay quality of listing there. So you might feel a little more confidence in making that happen. eBay would probably be your next best bet as far as being able to look at a little bit more of a pool of photos. Usually you'd see the entirety of the card, maybe the 4 corners on front and back. So you get a little better commitment to the idea that it's near mint, because near mint to one person may not be near mint to you. I've purchased several near mint cards where I go, man, if I was listing that, there's no way I'd call it near mint. And I'm very picky, so maybe I'm just scrutinizing the details of it a little bit more than most. Let's get off of this card. We're seeing it coming down. That's the trend we're talking about, and that's good that we're seeing it sub 200 on this card. It's the second card of the set as far as chase cards, as far as price point, second overall, and it's coming in under that $200 mark. So we've been playing with these crazy numbers lately, so seeing any cooling on this set is actually kind of nice. Milotic, here we go. Beautiful, gorgeous artwork, of course, and we're seeing it coming down this way. I think there's still room to go down, coming down to that $80 mark, 70 bucks for Japanese, 81 here for English, so we are seeing that trend working down. Neat artwork here. I'd love to see something like this in person. I feel like this kind of card would tell a better story in person. Here, it looks a little bit muddled, a little bit difficult to read. Not really it's that difficult to read or anything, but it just looks a little bit bland in the color schemes from front to back, side to side, and you just have that crown sticking out kind of as a sore thumb almost. But I really feel like in person, this one would really hit. So, you know, maybe I'll get the chance to pull it someday. I don't know. I'm not really going after pulling a lot of these cards. As much as I think this set has the legs to do well, I'm putting my investment into the sealed side more than the single cards, and I'm really looking to 2025. I'm not banking on those, but if I were a betting man, I would say out of the Scarlet and Violet era, those are the sets we'd want to have more focus on as investors. And as far as the single cards go, if you're going to try to push to master any set, I think those have the legs to make it happen. Really just a good slide down here, and that's kind of the trend you want to see, where it's just stair-stepping down, working its way out, letting the market decide what is the value of this card. $75 actually seems like we're getting to more reasonable zones here in some of these. Lisia's, is it Lisia, I guess? Lisia's Appeal, out of Surging Sparks here. I did not think that this one was going to be a crazy card. I don't know. Seems like the market has really liked it. The FOMO prices were just way out of control at 160. My goodness. I mean, if you got a hold of it and then you went and you put it out for a PSA grading, you got a 10, and then you turned it around to $500-$600. Okay, maybe that's the point of those FOMO prices. People are just pushing in that direction. I don't know. That seems like a game I wouldn't want to play. A little bit too much risk that I wouldn't want to be a part of. I'd rather wait, give it a week, give it 2 weeks before you even start considering. And it's difficult because you start seeing things in sets that are like, wait a second, it's going in the wrong direction. It's not beating that FOMO trend. Things tend to correct themselves, and you will see over time that it has a way of working out. $66 with dollar shipping here, $67. We're right on point, and seems like that's the lowest. So right on point with the market value there. The Alolan Exeggutor EX, I thought this one looks great, and I kind of like seeing it sub $50. That's kind of nice here. The fact that it never cracked 100, and now we are getting to that sub 50. It's right at 50. What do we got here? A few things pulling it down here. 45 on that one. Ooh, and you're calling it near mint. That seems a little sketch. Only because we're really not that far from that $50 range coming up. But it could be as simple as there are 0% rating here. There's no sales to speak of. So there's a couple things that could happen. One, this could be a phony listing, and its purpose is to drive the market down on it. It's part of market manipulation, and people do this. I don't know why or what the value in that for them is, to be a player in that game where they'll list crazy high and you see things pushed up. They'll list low and try to pull things down. I'm not saying this person is doing that, and I'm not accusing them of being in league with that idea. The more likely scenario is they don't have any credibility, so to speak, as far as a sales store front on TCG Player. So they're using this really good pull as a quick way out, $45 all in, and we're just shy of the next listing just to barely beat them, so that way they can start earning that percentage review. They can start earning a listing saying they've had some sales and successes. So that's the more likely scenario, but there are people out there who market manipulate, typically for the gain rather than the loss. And you just got to be careful about where these things are going, where you're buying from. At $50, it still feels rough to be buying on TCG Player, although they do have a photo that would help me a lot in my decision making. That $50 on that one, or sub, actually it's 45, would be in a reasonable zone. But I'd probably be more looking towards eBay for an abundance of photos. You can interact with the people, communicate with them, and get some more questions answered, and see how that transaction is going to go. Latios, I did a number on this one last Wednesday. If you didn't see it, go back and check it out. I was just reviewing the artwork of Surging Sparks, and I almost talked myself into thinking this is the greatest one of the set. So if you would like the artwork and you want some critique, some critical analysis on that, go and check that out and see what you think of my opinion on it, and also I'd love to know yours. But that FOMO price came down, a little recovery, but we couldn't fight the market, bringing it back down here into some reality. This makes more sense that it's a $40 or even getting to a $30 card wouldn't be unreasonable for this caliber card here. We have Jasmine's Gaze here. I like this one. It's got a lot of good scenery going on, a little bit more of a storytelling happening, good window light shining across here, just a little scene you can kind of pick out of a moment in time. And I think it doesn't really take it to the level other people were expecting. As far as the artwork, there is a little bit of a falling short beyond what you're seeing here. So that's probably why it's not performing as well, being a trainer artwork. I don't know the popularity of Jasmine, but I do know that the price has been coming down, and now it's steady. It's pretty steady here, 37, and just working down a little bit at a time, which is the best way to see it. Now that is a clean representation of how most sets should go, how most cards should go. You have your FOMO price, which is the why would you pay that? Coming upon release, fewer getting pulled. People are trying to sell off while it's still considerably higher. And people are realizing that quickly. So the next chunk is more people buying on a big dip, going, I'm going to buy on the bottom here, but it still pulls it down, And then you start getting to that level off pretty quickly without a lot of jagged spikes up and down. This is a really good graph, and that's what we would love to see, a little bit more of an expected view of how these things should go. Unlike some of these other ones here, like Pikachu. All right, so we have the Pikachu full art out of Surging Sparks, Pokemon's latest set, and the FOMO price here was $35, which it's all Pikachu tax right there. These Crown, Terra, full arts are not the most exciting. They're not. But you throw Pikachu on there, and now you've got some excitement, all right? To put it into that $35 range and then bringing it down, and then bam, it crashed down to 19. Well, that caused everybody to go buy it at 19 bucks. 101 sold on that one day, okay, for $19. Then that pushed the market up to say, well, there's a lot of people buying. We need to get the market up here to make up for it. You get a few, and now it's starting to settle back out a little bit here at the $25 range. So, but you look at it, and it's been a trend down. You can almost skip the anomaly there. And if you got in on that time, probably good on you. I don't know if this will really come back down to 19 quickly. It may. It depends on the pull rates and see how many end up hitting the market. But it's not unreasonable to think it could. But also in this $25 range, it's kind of hitting a decent level value with that Pikachu tax involved there. So there's 75 listed out there on TCG Player. There's probably more than that listed on eBay, and then you're going to find it in card stops. There's other places to buy than those two. But continuing on this Pikachu train here, we have the gold, the rise of the gold, thinking, hey, it's a full art gold. They don't do that well. Pikachu, okay, great. It's going to do better than the full art, which was 35, so 42, not unreasonable. And then we just saw everything explode. Everything exploded on the Pikachu cards, got up to 127, and now it's pulling down here just a little bit. Just a little bit. You see it peeking over the top there at that 113 mark. Let's see if we got some more sales data here. 135 at 98, pulling it down. 99, 99, 99, 100, 100, 110, 110, 110. It's pulling it down. For the fact that it's listed at 113 is almost surprising, but that 135 is kind of jacking it up again a little bit. Obviously, a bad play there. If you're going to be paying $35 more for just the one card there, you could have gotten the full art also for less than that difference between them. Just be a little patient. I think people forget that in this hobby, that patience is a virtue. And yes, you feel like you don't want to miss it as it's climbing to the top, but be realistic. You know, it's coming back down. I don't know if we're going to see it at $42 or $40. However, if it gets down to like the $60 range, I don't think that's unreasonable to expect. Just because of the fact of it being a gold card, the popularity of those, I don't think that's unreasonable. We have the Pikachu EX SIR 238 out of 91, 191 rather, and this is the hot card of Scarlet and Violet so far. All right, so far. There's an asterisk there because I don't think this will be the hot card of Scarlet and Violet. We have prismatic evolutions coming up. I mean, I know they're going to push on that Umbreon, but there are some pretty cool looking evolutions out of that set that we have a little bit of leak on. But same trend. We had this crazy, oh my gosh, why would you pay that for this card, 300, and then it went nuts up to almost 600. Now we're coming down another 100 here to 500. Given the trend of this card, given the artwork of it, in my opinion, 500 is too much. It doesn't make sense. And the listings are pushing as much as they can to get it down. It's trending downward. We have the 505 here. We have 502 here. We have 507. All right, 512. These are all still under this market price on the immediate listings. So if any of these pop off, that's going to pull that trend down just a little bit, just a little bit. And that's what it's doing here. We have 17 sold, and the price starts coming down. We have 10 sold. The price is coming down a little bit. We have 4 sold. Like, this is the thing. That last one, the price ticked up a little bit, and it had very few sales, which means the market is not willing to do this anymore. So there was a willingness at 536, and people were listing, holding out for good deals. Can I get a little better? 10 said yes at 516 in that range there. All right, average price is what we're looking at. And then only a few, 4, selling at this 517. It ticked up a little bit and very few sold. So that's going to trend downwards. It's still early in this card. It is. I mean, it's early in the set. It's early in this card. Wow. It's like I can't even help it. I was going to say let's blast through these last few, but it just feels dumb. Blastoise EX from 151. Big spike up. We're trending down here. $65 on that one. Obviously, look beyond the first price you see there because this graph is going to give you information on the market price and then the listings. And it might be other languages that are putting you there. But here we have, if it doesn't specify the language, you're looking at an English card here. Or you can see the picture. It's English, near mint, and it really looks like there's a big chip on top. So calling that near mint is not cool. 59 bucks there. 62. We're getting into that market price there with some reality. We're going on to Venusaur. Same story here. Ignore that price. Look at your graph as it's cooling off, 151 cooling off, because the new shiny toy is here. We have Surging Sparks. We have the projection of Prismatic Evolutions. People are going to back off on previous sets for a little bit there while they go over and kind of look to the new and pursue the bigger chases coming in front of them here. $62. Again, look down below. I'm sure you find more information showing you that that's accurate, or you could do a little better. 45. This is not just a little slip. This is a big slant down. 50 down to 45 real quick there. 52.66 was the high on that one. Hey, we have the Elite Trainer Box from Pokemon 151. This is the Pokemon Center exclusive version, okay? This has the stamped promo. We just talked about stamped promos yesterday, and we're seeing a little cooling off, 226, 227, and now it's getting down to 217, coming down. Yeah, and it's holding there until people decide. 0 sold in this little bracket, so it's going to be holding in that pattern until people decide, which means there's going to be a couple sales that could go a little higher, could go a little lower, and it's going to keep pushing that trend. That's how that works. It's just how it works here. So right now, nobody's moving on it. This would probably be your one that's going to get you into that pushing for a little bit same market or lower, but look at how crinkled that is. My goodness. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying that. Like, you're talking lots off. People are buying these for the sealed purpose. All right, so you want it to be premium, you want it to look good. 2 crushes on there. It's not their fault. They got it this way. It was shipped this way, I'm sure, and they're probably bummed about it, and that's why they're selling it while it's hot, just to get something out of it, because long term, that's going to be a big blow, and they can reuse that money for something else in the hobby. I don't know. I'm not here to think for them, but these are not selling right now. People are not going crazy on this one. It is starting to cool off. February will be a telling. See what happens once a lot hits the market on that Blooming Waters collection box there. Rayquaza V out of Evolving Skies. We're seeing some craziness here, going up, bumping down, shooting down, skyrocket up, recovery. But you can look at the peaks. You can look at the peaks. There's a trend downward, and then we're slipping under there. Let's stretch it out a little bit longer, and now we have a better story. It's really trying to recover out of this big spike from May, working its way back down, and we're in that recovery process still. That's why time is going to be your best friend on this, because you could have been the people going crazy at 150 on this one here, and yeah, you missed the boat for 75, 80 bucks. Sure, a lot of us did. Most of us did, right? And then you went and go crazy on this at 150, which is double, and now we're coming down, getting closer to that $100 range. Okay, you're somewhere between. You know, it went up 25 from before, rather than paying double what it was. You're only paying 25 more than what it was, and you're in a good recovery zone. Stretch out this graph, take a look, especially the cards that have the time behind them. The new sets, you can't do that, but you got to wait. Time is going to be your friend there. Similar story here. Looks a little chaotic. Just let's stretch it out. Same kind of story on the Aerodactyl V. We're going to see that over here on the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX from Chilling Reign. The alt art here, pretty steady decline there. Let's stretch it out just a little bit more here. This was on the back end of the boom from the May into June here, because it was kind of first tier that everything shot up, and then it was, okay, I can't afford that. What can I go to next? And people were just grabbing alt arts wherever they could. And, you know, it had that trend across the board here. Mew, VMAX, really cool looking art. Wild looking card, a lot of fun stuff going on. We're in that $76 range here. Not too bad for the Mew VMAX out of Fusion Strike. And back to Chilling Reign with the Galarian Zapdos V. And it looks like we're almost trending up here, but you got to be more realistic about where these things are going. We're still in that recovery zone. So while it looks like it's going up right now, it's recovering from what it was. And this one's actually almost matching where it was before. 41 on a pretty decent low over there, and on this little tick up here, 47. Not too much of a difference over that long period of time. Going to the Galarian Articuno V from Chilling Reign. Similar story, I'm guessing, just because things tend to follow the same wake here. We are at 40, and now we're at 41, and that's not too far off. That's a pretty good full recovery. These things might be on your radar if you're looking to pick those up. I was lucky enough to pull the Moltres V, so I should probably be looking at these just to complete the trio, and in reasonable price bracket, to be honest, as far as those cards can go. Galarian Rapidash V, another one I was lucky to pull. It might have been one of my first or early alt arts that I ever pulled, and I didn't even know what I was looking at the time, but it looked cool, so I was happy with it. And now that I know more, okay, but we're going to follow that same trend here. 37 on the low in the past year, and 39 towards the beginning of that spike, going to shoot up there, getting almost to 70, and now we're back down to 40. So, I mean, we're talking a couple bucks difference. Nice full recovery. Not always the story. Usually it sets a new price bracket, but it's kind of nice to see that some of these are almost doing a full recovery from that boom. And really it's because they're just not that popular cards, but that's okay. There are some popular cards in this set. The Pokemon 151, and the poster collection is going out to one lucky winner. Also going to be doing 2 3-pack blisters of Surging Sparks and 5 Pokemon mystery card lots. I tell you in the beginning exactly what you need to do, but the main goal is we need to get 4,000 subscribers. So leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell because I post 7 days a week. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.